Destroying soil is frighteningly easy, but restoring it is infinitely complex. Around the world, nations are adopting different strategies to heal their scars. China has made headlines with its massive reforestation efforts, planting millions of trees to hold back the Gobi Desert. In North America, conservationists are reintroducing bison and beavers, ecosystem engineers, whose natural behaviors reshape the landscape. But perhaps the most surprising and innovative solution is unfolding in Africa. On lands losing tens of thousands of hectares to desertification every year, scientists are not just planting trees, they are releasing tortoises. At first, this seems insane. How can a slow-moving reptile possibly help stop the expansion of the largest hot desert on Earth? Today, we are going to dig deep into this paradox and discover how Africa's living tanks are saving the Sahel. To understand the solution, we must first understand the enemy. The Sahara Desert is a behemoth, covering an area of over 9.2 million square kilometers. It is one of the most hostile environments on the planet, with annual rainfall that barely scrapes 50 millimeters in its core. When rain does fall, evaporation rates can reach a staggering 6,000 millimeters per year, sucking moisture out of the ground faster than it can be replenished. The temperature swings are brutal, fluctuating by more than 30 degrees Celsius in a single day. These are conditions that make standard agriculture nearly impossible. The real battleground, however, is not the deep desert, but its southern border, the Sahel. This is a transitional zone, a belt of semi-arid land where rainfall is unpredictable and the soil exists in a state of chronic moisture deficit. The terrifying reality is that this land is deteriorating through a process called desertification. It's a death by 1,000 cuts, caused by a combination of a changing climate and human activity. When this degradation hits its peak, the fertile topsoil vanishes and the land transforms into a sterile wasteland. Through this process, the Sahelian nations lose between 20,000 and 30,000 hectares of arable land every single year. The Sahara is effectively expanding, swallowing the future of millions. To counter this existential threat, the African Union launched one of the world's most ambitious environmental projects, the Great Green Wall. The original vision was cinematic, a continuous wall of trees, 15 kilometers wide and nearly 8,000 kilometers long, stretching from coast to coast. However, reality proved more difficult than the blueprints. The classical model of mass tree planting turned out to be ill-suited for the harsh reality of the Sahel. Saplings died in droves due to drought and windstorms. Recognizing these failures, the project's architects pivoted toward a mosaic of green practices. Yet progress remained slow. It became clear that humanity needed allies. We needed a biological mechanism to accelerate recovery. We needed the tortoise. Releasing just any tortoise into the Sahel would be a death sentence, but evolution has crafted a survivor perfectly designed for this hellscape, the African Spurred Tortoise, or Centrochalis sulcata. This is a giant, the third largest species of tortoise in the world, with males averaging 80 kilograms. They are tanks built of bone and resilience. Tragically, even these survivors are endangered, primarily due to competition with livestock that strip the land bare. Scientists now believe their absence is a key reason why land restoration efforts fail. To fix this, a massive reintroduction effort is underway in Senegal. The results have been remarkable. Not only have 80% of the released tortoises survived, but they have also begun to breed. This is because the sulcata is not just an animal. It is a terraforming machine. First, they are excavators. Using powerful legs, they act as natural plows, breaking up the hard, impermeable crust of degraded soil. This hard pan seals the earth, causing rainwater to flash across the surface and evaporate. The tortoises break this cycle, allowing oxygen and water to penetrate the soil. But their impact goes deeper, literally. To escape the lethal heat, sulcatas dig massive burrow systems up to 30 meters long and 15 meters deep. When the rains come, these burrows act as funnels. Water pours into them, bypassing the evaporation zone and soaking deep into underground aquifers. The tunnels distribute moisture and air, creating micro oases, where plants that would otherwise die can find a foothold. The second superpower of the sulcata is its appetite. As strict herbivores, they consume vast amounts of dry grasses and their seeds. A tortoise's digestion is slow, and during the weeks it takes for food to pass through its system, it travels kilometers across the landscape. When it finally defecates, it deposits those seeds far from the parent plant, wrapped in a perfect package of fertilizer. Degraded Sahelian soil is almost devoid of the nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus required for plant life. Tortoise dung is rich in all three, plus magnesium and calcium. A seed deposited in this dung is protected, moist, and surrounded by instant food. The tortoise digs a tunnel, preparing the soil, then drops a seed bomb, planting and fertilizing it. It is a self-sustaining cycle of regeneration. The tortoise is not fighting alone. Conservationists realize that restoring the ecosystem requires the return of the entire guild of large herbivores. Enter the Scimitar-Horned Oryx. Once the master of the Sahel, this elegant antelope was driven to extinction in the wild, but in a historic victory, conservationists began reintroducing them in Chad in 2016. By 2023, the herd had grown to over 600. Like the tortoise, the oryx heals the land. As they migrate, their hooves break up the soil crust, creating millions of tiny divots that catch seeds and rainwater. The dung adds organic matter to the topsoil, feeding the microbes that keep the earth alive. Similar efforts are underway for the North African ostrich, another giant herbivore being reintroduced to the wild. Ostriches are heavy grazers and diggers who create depressions that catch water and disperse seeds across vast distances. This proves that nature has the tools to heal itself. We just need to bring back the gardeners.